Investors and traders, welcome to the channel. Today is 3rd of November 2024. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. So CNBC has been reporting that Berkshire Hathaway's cash fortress tops $300 billion as Warren Buffett sells more stock, and he's also freezing his buybacks of his own company, that is the Berkshire stock. Now that shouldn't come as too much of a surprise in terms of at least the freezes of the buybacks for our channel subscribers, because we have been watching key pattern formation in the stock for quite some time, and this is what we'll be discussing in more detail today in this video. As always, this video is for educational purposes only, and it is not a financial advice. So the CNBC is reporting that Berkshire Hathaway's monstrous cash pile topped $300 billion in the third quarter as Buffett continued his stock selling spree and held back from repurchasing shares. So he has also been selling his Apple stake. He has been doing that for quite some time. We have also been watching key pattern formations in the Apple stock, and we have actually been catching the tops and the bottoms of the range, and we have been able to benefit through the eyes of the pattern formations, pattern recognition, and Fibonacci retracements, exactly the kind of moves that are taking place in the stock. And then what we have also been doing is also looking at the Berkshire Hathaway's stock. Now let's go back and take a look at this key pattern formation which took place. Now this is the Berkshire Hathaway Series B stock. You can see that it is modestly priced compared to the Berkshire Series A, which is in several hundreds of thousands of dollars. We'll also take a look at that one, but this is the one in which a lot of retails also participate. So this is why we like to take a look at this one. And the key pattern on this weekly chart has been this completion of this big ABCD pattern right here. Now this is the one, this is the pattern that we had been discussing in our weekly analysis for the US banking stocks and ETFs. And we have been watching this ABCD formation, which is the one-to-one price projection here, and we had been actually suggesting, because the pattern recognition, that perhaps this stock is likely to pull back, and this is what the stock has done for several months now and several weeks. It has actually just gone nowhere but sideways, and the key thing is, I'm going to just blow it up a little bit so it's easier to see. Now the key thing is that last Friday at the weekly close, it actually broke below this trend line, so it's a bull flag actually. You can see that, and what we are looking at is a possibility that we could actually have a retrace of this equal to this BC swing which it had in its bull run since the 2020. And if that is the case, then the pattern recognition is telling us that we could be looking at a stock come down to about $400, where we could expect some sort of a bounce to take place, and then perhaps it might do an ABCD sort of formation like this, perhaps, and we could see then a further drop right into this gray shaded region. And over here there's going to be a pretty strong support, because you can see that the stock on the weekly chart is really strong from a momentum perspective. This gray line is the 200 weekly moving average, the green line is the 2089 period moving average, and all of them are moving higher, so that's good. And what this stock in the near term is doing is approaching this 20-week moving average, which is around $445. So around this shaded region, we'll have the structural support coming from this point B, and also it will pretty much equal this BC swing, which was the 2022 bear market for this stock. So the chances are that actually we are heading towards this region, and what this suggests is that most likely the Oracle of Omaha will keep on selling some of his long-term holdings, including Bank of America stock, Apple stock, and perhaps a few others, maybe even American Express as well. And American Express has also done a very key ABCD pattern, which we'll take a look at in our weekly review of the banking stocks and ETFs. Now moving towards a really long-term monthly chart. Now this is really important. this is a really long-term chart. This is the monthly chart, and we go back all the way to the bottom, which took place in March of 2009. So this is going back about roughly 14-15 years, and you can see that the stock has done fantastically. It had a bit of a dip in the 2020 because of the COVID pandemic, and then a fantastic CD leg higher, which is actually 1.618 times the AB leg, and in fact it actually went above that. So this is in August of 2024, it went above the 458 level, which is the 1.618 extension, but it wasn't able to actually, there was just no follow through on monthly basis. In September it pulled back, and then in the month of October we have an inside month formation, but also a negative close for the month, and this is going to be the second consecutive closing in the negative territory for the stock. And the previous time it did that, it was actually around here in the September of 2023, and then there was just no follow through and the uptrend started. Now if we get another now the week of the month of November just started. Now if November also turns out to be a negative month on closing basis, then what it suggests is that we don't really see 3 consecutive negative months in this entire run. The only one is right here, but this one was pretty much a trading range month, so it would just suggest that something perhaps is changing in its long established bull run. And the only time we could see it happen was in the CD leg higher, was back in 2022. So this also gives further strength to the idea that maybe the stock is getting ready for a pullback and what we have seen on the weekly chart. So this is what we are watching in the Berkshire Hathaway Series B, and it suggests perhaps more selling is likely to be done by Warren Buffett. Now if we just take a look at the Series A, here we go, and I'm gonna go over to the monthly chart here. I might have done it on, yeah, it's on the weekly chart. Here we go, and we see a similar kind of a pattern formation. Now this one is going back all the way to the lows of 2009, and we also have the 1.618 times the AB leg, which is the lows of right here in March of 2009, and the highs coming in the January of 2020. So a fantastic performance, and now maybe certain things might be changing, and what we are seeing is basically Berkshire Hathaway moving into a lot of cash. Now there could be several reasons for it. The article on CNBC points to certain reasons, but it's only Warren Buffett who really understands what are the reasons behind it. But he is actually selling some of his major holdings, and the biggest one being in the stock Apple. Now if we just have a really quick look at the stock of Apple on the weekly chart, we can see that here it's just been in a trading range for a long time. Here we go, it's just not been going anywhere, and just been oscillating between 195 and about 237. However, the stock still remains pretty strong, and as long as our point 5th of August is not broken to the downside, the stock could still see upside. But what is clear is that a major player has actually been at higher prices exiting the position, taking its profits, and this is why we just see this market being absolutely range bound. Now the American Express stock is also really interesting, because per our analysis it also completed this big ABCD pattern as well, which is going back all the way to the March of 2020 lows, and the momentum was so strong that actually this stock went above about 25 bucks. But now what we are seeing is actually the trading range transpire, and the chances are that although the momentum is strong, it might actually pull back right into this gray region, and at least right towards the 250 bucks mark, which is going to be the 20 period moving average. So this is what we are watching in the Berkshire stock, and most likely there is perhaps further selling to come in Warren Buffett's public listed companies portfolios. We don't know what he's doing with his privately or fully held companies, of course, but sometimes if he's also looking to sell some of those, that news might also hit sometime in future. But what we do know is public companies, because they have to report these, there has been a lot of selling going on in the Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio. So just wanted to bring it to you guys, and wanted to point out that the patterns, they had actually been guiding us, and now the news is coming out. Our thesis has always been in market chart pattern that news follows the price. So the price was telling us something, and it was based on the patterns which were completing, and these are pretty long-term patterns on the weekly charts going back 4 or 5 years. And I've also shown, in case of the Berkshire, the pattern which goes back as back as 2009, so that's going back over a decade and a half almost. So thank you very much for watching the video. Good luck, good trading, and speak to you guys soon.